Hello everyone, this is your tutor for ACCA Corporate and Business Law exam, SIME, and in today's class we are just going to look at the overview of this subject, the exam pattern, the course content, and what are the things that we are offering in our package. Okay, so I will be teaching Corporate and Business Law UK variant, or also known as English variant. Okay, so I will be teaching that UK variant, uh, or it is also known as English variant. Now, let's first discuss the exam pattern. And before that, you all know that this is basically the skills level exam, first skills level exam of ACCA. And if you look at the other skills level exam from PM till FM, all of the exams, like there are constructed response questions in that exam, in those exams as well. Like you have to draft the answer on Word, you have to draft the answer on the Excel. But here, this is not the case. So this exam is in skills level, but it resembles more like a knowledge level, because just objective type questions and multitask questions will be tested, and the exam will be automatically marked. Software will check the exam, but in the other skills level exam, there is some portion which is manually marked by examiner. But that is not the case in this. Okay, so it is a skills level exam, but it resembles more like a knowledge level exam of ACC. Okay. Let's first look at the exam pattern. So there are going to be two sections in this exam, section A and section B. In section A, there are going to be objective test questions, objective type questions, which basically means like multiple choice questions or yes or no, true and false stuff. Okay. Such type of questions will be tested. So uh, in section A, the 25 objective type questions will be of 2 marks. So total is 50 marks. And 20 objective type questions will be of 1 mark. So 1 mark, it means total 20 marks. So in total, there are going to be 45 objective type questions in section A, but 20 of them will be of 1 mark each, and 25 of them will be of 2 marks each. What is the difference between these two? The difference is quite simple, that in the 2 marks question, the question will be bit challenging in terms of more option given to you. Like for example, let's say out of 4 options, you have to choose one correct. Okay, out of 4, you have to choose one correct, or out of 5, let's say you have to choose two correct. If you will choose two correct, only then you will be able to secure 2 marks. If you choose one right, one wrong, it's zero, right? If software is checking exam, it's automatically marked. So either it's two or it's zero. Okay. But in 1 mark question, the question will be bit brief, or you can say less difficult. Like for example, in a certain question, the examiner may give you 3 options, and out of 3 options, you have to choose one. So chances of getting success in such question is more, because out of 3 you have to choose one, right? Out of 4, choosing 2 or choosing one is bit more complex. So this 1 mark question will be comparatively easier questions. Okay. So 20 objective type questions of 1 mark each, and 25 objective type questions of 2 marks each. So in total, 70 marks will be of section A. In section B, there are going to be 5 multitask questions. Okay. In multitask questions, a certain scenario will be given to you. And out of that scenario, the question will be asked by the examiner. Examiner will give you a certain scenario. And out of those, further sub questions are going to be asked by the examiner. Okay. One MTQ is of 6 marks each. So 5 MTQs are going to be of 30 marks. So 70 plus 30, the exam is of 100 marks. Time allowed for this exam is 2 hours. Passing percentage of all of the ACC exam is 50%. Okay. Now let's quickly go through the course content. Let's go to the course content of this subject, Corporate and Business Law, English variant or UK variant. So what are we going to learn in this? First of all, we are going to talk about English legal system. We will discuss what is the legal system, and what are basically source of English law. What are the different types of English law, different types of courts. All of this stuff we are going to discuss in chapter 1. Then comes contract law. There is contract law. Is basic contract is basically like agreement between two parties, right? So in contract law, we are going to discuss what are the terms of basically what are the essential elements of the contract. What is offer, acceptance, consideration, intention, capability. Then we will be discussing damages, penalties, fines that are involved in contracts. Okay, so basically we are going to talk about contract, termination of the contract, how to account for it. Privity to the contract, which parties are involved in the contract. What is the privity of contract, breach of contract, and what is the remedy solution for that. So all of this stuff we are going to talk about in contract law. Contract law is the most lengthiest chapter in this book. Okay, in this course, it is the most lengthiest one. Okay, contract law. Then comes tort law. Tort is what? Basically, tort is a civil wrong. Civil wrong. You know, if a person does a civil wrong, we say that this person has committed tort. Now, what are the consequences of that? You know, what is tort of negligence? Like how do we establish casualty in tort, remoteness of damages? You know, all of this stuff. Defense in cases of tort. You know, duty of care to whom it applies. All of this stuff we will be discussing in the tort law. Then comes employment law, which basically in this chapter we will be discussing the difference between self-employment and employment first. That is the crucial thing. Then duties of employer, duties of employee. You know, law regarding dismissing the employee, law regarding the redundancy of employees. You know, so all of this stuff, remedies involved. All of this stuff we are going to discuss in employment law. Then agency law. In agency law, we'll be discussing about the agency relationship. You know, like many like celebrities, let's say they have agent who does the contract on behalf of them. So you know, he's an agent, principal is someone else, and the agent is doing the contract with third party on the name of principal. You know, so such a relationship is known as agency relationship. So we are going to talk about the law regarding this agency relationship. Okay, then comes the partnership. Okay, so after first five chapters, from six chapters till 12 chapter onwards, all of this is basically company law. All of this stuff relates to the companies. Okay, companies. So from chapter 6 to chapter 12, you know, you can say that this is the company law portion of this course. Okay, so in partnership, we are going to talk about different types of partnership. In corporation and legal personalities, we are going to talk about like companies, how companies are made, how companies are registered, articles, rules involved in governing the company, the concept of limited liability, different types of company like private companies, public companies. You know, how the companies are formed, how the companies are governed, different types of statutory records that need to be maintained. You know, all of this stuff we are going to talk about in cooperation and legal personality. This chapter 7 again is a lengthy chapter in this course. So out of all 12 chapters, chapter 2 and chapter 7 are lengthiest chapters in this course. Rest all of the chapters, you know, they are not as much lengthy as chapter 2 and chapter 7. Then comes capital and financing, in which we are going to talk about different modes of financing for a company. Like company can raise finance via share issue, via loan. You know, all of this stuff about share capital, loan capital, and capital maintenance, laws regarding giving dividend. All of this we are going to talk about in capital and financing. Then comes directors chapters, in which we are going to discuss the role of directors in the operation of the company, different types of directors, duties of directors, disqualification of directors, what is the power given to board of directors. You know, all of this stuff we are going to talk about in directors. Then comes corporate administration, in which we are going to discuss about appointment procedure of like other personnel that are involved in running the company, like company secretary, in administrate in that are involved in basically administration of the company, like company secretary. In this chapter, we are going to talk about the role of auditor as well, that how we appoint auditor, what are his duties, how we remove them, what is the process of that. All of this we are going to talk about in corporate administration. We are going to talk about companies meetings, what are the different types of meetings, what are general meetings, what are annual general meetings, different types of resolutions, ordinary resolution, special resolution, what is the process for calling and conducting company meetings. All of this stuff we are going to talk about in corporate administration. Then comes insolvency law. Insolvency basically means shutting down the company. When you shut down the company, how the procedure is carried out is what we are going to discuss in insolvency law. There are different types of liquidation of the company. Liquidation means shutting down the company. Okay, voluntary liquidation, which involves members voluntary liquidation, creditors voluntary liquidation. Then there is compulsory liquidation. Then we are going to discuss, we will be discussing administration process as well, that if a company is in financial difficulty, is it possible that instead of shutting it down, we run company and make it to a point, or you know, like get company to a point where it can run for the foreseeable future. That is known as administration. So we will be discussing that also in the insolvency law. And lastly, corporate and fraudulent behavior, in which we are going to talk about different types of frauds that the personnel involved in a company can commit, what are the like risk procedures, what are the controls that we can implement, what are the different due diligence we can implement to ensure that risks are as minimum as possible. We will be discussing like what are the uh, behaviors, fraudulent behaviors that results in imprisonment, what are the behaviors that result in fine, different things. All of this stuff we are going to talk about in chapter 12. Okay, so this is basically a course overview of your corporate and business law. Now remember one thing, the course of this ACCF4 law is very short, is really short. Even a student can, like, do all of this stuff within 4 weeks as well, easily within 4 weeks. Why? Because the course is very short course. So if a student is serious about clearing this exam in first attempt, all he need to do is to give 5 to 6 hour daily for around 4 weeks, and he will be able to clear the exam in first attempt. Okay. Why? Because the course is really a short course. It is not a lengthy course. For those who have done business and technology from ACC knowledge level, you can say that this course is half of that. Okay. But the problem here is that this subject involves legal terminologies which are bit complex. So while you are preparing, while you are understanding the concept about different things, you should know that what does the different legal terminology means. Because if you will know the meaning, only then you will be able to interpret the requirement, and you will be able to choose the right option. Okay, that is the thing a student should need to keep in mind, okay, regarding this subject. Otherwise this subject has a very high passing rate, like around 80% more than the knowledge level exams. Okay. So this is one of the most past exam of ACCA. Okay, past paper of ACCA. Now what do we offer? So basically we will be offering recorded lectures. These are pre-recorded lectures, and the access of the lectures will be provided via our mobile and desktop applications. Okay. And the course is around 25 hours. Okay, it's a short course. Again, I am repeating, it's a short course, so the recorded lectures will be around like 25 hours. Okay. So uh, you can understand now that it's not that much lengthy, and you can like clear the exam in very short span of time. Then there will be kit solution videos, specifically BPP kit solution videos. Why? Because Kaplan kit is very easy. Kaplan kit is very easy. BPP questions are very tough. Okay. So I prefer BPPY because of the toughness. Then tutor notes, all of the chapter notes, they will be provided for you except for chapter 11, because that I have taught from the book. Rest for all of the chapters, the notes will be provided to you. WhatsApp support will be given to you. You will be added to the class WhatsApp group. If you have any question, any query, you can ask. And then finally, when you are ready, when your preparation is done, we will provide you with 3 ACCA mocks, and once you are done with the mocks, like you will be able to know that whether you are ready to appear for exam or not. Okay. uh, the preparation strategy of this exam is really simple. Watch the recorded lectures, understand the concept, practice the questions. If you have any problem, go through the kid solution videos. Still, if you have any issue, you can contact me on WhatsApp. And once like this, if you will follow this pattern one by one, all of the chapters would be clear. Then finally, you can like give mocks in the exam like scenario. Like let's say exam time available is 2 hours. So like you will I have a stopwatch or timer for 2 hours, and you will like attempt all of the questions within that span. Okay, so it will give you like uh, a good practice for the exam scenario as well. Now remember one thing, that in exam also 2 hours are more than enough. Like many students, they have like attempted this whole exam within an hour as well, because this is completely theoretical exam. So in theory, there are no complex calculation involved, which takes time. You just need to read the requirement, assess what is the right answer, choose the right answer, move on to the next one. Okay. So it's not that much complex. Uh, for further details, if you want to ask anything else regarding the recorded lectures, prices, different types of subscriptions, like we provide monthly subscription as well, 2 months as well, different types of package, you can contact me on WhatsApp at this number.